The classroom fell silent as Mrs. Carter, the notoriously stern and dismissive science teacher, held up the project with a sarcastic grin. "Ladies and gentlemen," she sneered, "behold, the future of science." Laughter erupted, but in the back row young Danny's face flushed crimson as he sank lower into his seat. Danny, a shy and hard-working boy from a struggling single-parent household, had poured his heart into his science project. Lacking resources, he'd scavenged discarded electronics and pieced together a scrappy-looking but ingenious invention. A device that could purify water using sunlight and common household materials. He'd seen his mother struggle with rising water bills and wanted to create something to help. Mrs. Carter dismissed the project as amateurish and moved on, lavishing praise on projects backed by expensive materials and parental involvement. Humiliated, Danny considered dropping out of the science fair altogether. But fate intervened. A visiting substitute teacher, Mr. Ellis, spotted Danny's project in the classroom later that week. Intrigued, he asked Danny to explain it. As Danny detailed his inspiration and process, Mr. Ellis was stunned by the innovation behind the simple-looking device. With Mr. Ellis's encouragement, Danny decided to submit his project to the regional science fair, despite Mrs. Carter's disapproval. At the regional fair, Danny's project caught the attention of a panel of scientists, one of whom worked for an organization focused on solving water scarcity in underdeveloped regions. They were blown away not only by the functionality of Danny's device, but also by the ingenuity in its creation. They encouraged him to enter the National Science and Innovation Awards. Meanwhile, Mrs. Carter remained oblivious to Danny's success. She was too preoccupied with preparing her star students for the same competition. She mocked Danny when she saw him still working on his project, calling it a waste of time. But as the awards ceremony approached, whispers began circulating that a local student's project had made it to the national stage. Mrs. Carter brushed off the rumors until she saw Danny on the news, standing on stage as his name was announced as the winner. The day after the ceremony, the school threw a celebration for Danny. Mrs. Carter, visibly flustered, tried to take partial credit for his success. Danny, ever humble, thanked his peers, his mother, and Mr. Ellis. When reporters pressed him about his teacher's initial reaction, he simply said, "Sometimes people don't see the value in something different, but that doesn't mean you stop trying." Mrs. Carter was left reflecting on her behavior, while Danny's invention went on to attract funding and recognition for its potential to help communities worldwide. This tale serves as a powerful reminder to never underestimate someone's potential based on appearances or circumstances. True genius often lies in the unlikeliest places, waiting to shine.